What's this? Aha. Well, my favorite place. The bathroom. Ha. And I've showed you before how to tighten up handles, like for sinks and stuff. Here, I was over here and I tightened these up before, and I showed you that on a different video. And even on that, when I was doing that, I checked the other sink, and sure enough, these handles were loose too. And I went ahead and fixed those. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Those weren't loose before. I was fixing this little section of handle on the top. And you might think, man, I wasn't going to make a video of that part, but I'll have to look at that in a minute. But when I had my Allen wrenches out, I even tightened these up. Yeah, you can tighten all this stuff up. Sometimes you might think that it's loose at the wall, and sometimes it is. Your mounting bracket may be loose on the wall, but the first thing to do is to try to tighten these up, and sure enough, I was able to tighten those. And I also went and I tightened these up at the toilets too. These are kind of funky, huh? I like those. But they were all loose on the wall when we bought the house, and I was able to find there was a little set screw back in here, one here for this, one right there for this. That's not part of the video today. I forgot when I was in here, I forgot to look at these other handles too. I also checked this, the towel bars. And I was able to tighten those up. Usually whenever you see towel bars and stuff, you'll find the little mounting screws. And so here's these, and I forgot to do these, and I was hoping I could tighten those up. And sure enough, on this, if you look real close, you'll see a little Allen wrench hole. An Allen set screw, and usually all of them have it. Now see this one? Look, there's two of them. I'm not sure why there's two. You think there's only one. Sometimes you look and there might be two. And this one there's two. See how this is kind of loose and wobbly, wonky? Look at that. And here's a set screw on this. This was turning a little bit. See how this turns just a hair? Look it. And I was thinking this whole thing was turning underneath, and I thought, I better be careful with that. I don't want to do anything to loosen that up. And if that thing were to leak underneath there, how on earth would I get to it? You know, usually if you've got a tub, something like this outside, there's an inspection cover, or somewhere on another wall somewhere, sometimes maybe on the tile, an inspection cover to where you can get in there. And I don't know if you can crawl in there or if you can just reach in there where the motor is, and there should be an area where an electrical outlet is and all that kind of stuff. And ours is outside right there. But enough of that. I want to get this fixed, and I had some Allen wrenches, and I got a set like this, and it's like, it's almost two sets in one. See, I can pull this one out, and this one folds over too. Let's get my tripod set down here. See how the Allen wrench is there? You might think, okay, that should be plenty, and usually it is. But look, I got all these over here too. That's because they're standard and metric. Believe it or not, sometimes things are metric. I found out on my door handles that go outside to the decks and stuff, I couldn't find an Allen wrench on my standards. And I tried one on a metric, and sure enough, I found one. Usually that doesn't happen. I don't know what the deal was, but I'm glad I've got two sets. It's like buying two sets in one. and it was actually pretty good. This one happens to be husky. Okay, try that next time you need an Allen wrench. Okay, so I found the coordinating one for the small ones. And if I didn't like the way this was angled, I could loosen this up all the way and pop it right off. But I like it, and so I'm going to turn it a little bit. And I can turn it even tighter than that if I pull that out and use this other end. Yeah, start making a video on the telephone rings. I'm not even sure why she's got a phone. I keep telling her, hey, let's save the money and do away with the phone. You don't need a fax machine anymore. Have them send it to your computer, and then have your printer connected to your computer, which it is anyways, and voila, cancel that phone. That silly phone rings, and she only has it for people sending her faxes. Figure that one out. Okay, this one, all of them were loose. The important thing is to not go so tight that you think you're going to strip it. Yeah. Well, that's way better. Before, this edge was almost hitting here. That's because this was loose. Now I've got that all nice and snug, and I'm going to try to tighten that up. I don't know really what's the deal with that. I think it's just because that Allen set screw is loose. Just needs to be tightened. I'm just guessing. Okay, that's the right one. Okay. Was just a hair loose. Look at that. That's all that was. Okay. Now you're probably like, hey Joe, what about Mommy's sink? Let's go take a look at that, shall we? Well, let's take a look at that over here. I'm gonna get this up a little bit higher. And I've already kind of looked at this, and the handle is nice and tight. Just the handle part here. But this, look at this. That's loose. And sometimes you might think, hey, the nut underneath the sink is loose. And remember, if you were watching another particular video I was doing, I was over at my sink, and this side was loose. This, usually on some of your faucet handles, you can tighten it up right here. So check that out first. Not all faucet handles are the same, mind you, but this particular type, you can tighten it by screwing this tight. But this was tight and the thing was still wobbling around, so I had to get underneath the sink. And I was able to tighten it up. Do you remember that? That was tricky too. I'm hoping this is not the same. I'm thinking I can tighten this up right here, but you know, look at that. Maybe not. Good Lord. I don't know how that happened. I checked that a few months ago and it seemed to be fine. And this part is tight. Oh, Jiminy. So I think it's the nuts. Okay, well, I'm going to have to tighten that up from underneath. But isn't that odd? I thought I could just quickly screw this. And let's go to another sink and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I thought I was going to have to get underneath this other sink and tighten it. This one I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to go under there. I'm going to take you to another another sink faucet handle. It's pretty much the same. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. Hey, you don't have to see me tighten up the nuts underneath Mommy's sink. I've shown you how to do that underneath my sink. Okay, so it's the same way. Hope you learned something.